Alright, this is ALK once again, showing up on Monday night. I just was thinking earlier today and all the situations that we're in. And as we look at it, just make sure when you looking at the video, look at the subscription. That's what I stand for. That's what running off on is those 9 things. I believe that it will be helpful for the country. But I was thinking along lines with dealing with every situation that we are facing, everything that we are doing. It's very interesting in how things goes and how so much come about and how the budget is being played out. Now, for me, my first goal probably be with the thing that I want to get past and get done. It take one person to change the United States, and we start dealing with everything that is going on because we depend on everybody that is for the United States. Everybody is a patriot, and everybody that want this country to survive. But then you got certain people that is selfish and want everything to go their way and everything done their way. That's the thing that we have to change and start planning that we don't get another person as we have now in the White House. We have to live with it. We have to acknowledge that he is the president. He's not the best that we wanted, and actually, we can be satisfied for who we voted for. If you voted for Democratic and not this present president. So you can count it as betterment for you. You made a good choice. For those that feel like and know that they made a terrible choice, only thing they got to do adjust. And as the midterm coming up, they vote different. And most people will not vote different, but those that feel like they did, they vote different. Like I always tell people, it's not according to the power of your party, it's according to making the United States work for the citizen. Now, come to this point with this administration, it's all about individual. It's all about everybody making money. It's just like the one that got fired. Can't remember her name, but she got fired over Homeland Security. Now, I say she didn't really get fired. She just got removed from position and moved somewhere else. Now, when that happened, how and why will you put a person in another position as a government official when you know that there was just a cricket doing what they did and all that they did and didn't have no heart instead of using the money that they have paying down our budget, they use money to do ignorant stuff. As this administration, ignorant stuff is just crazy. So when we're looking at that, we have to make. Not I'm not saying we. I'm just saying as dealing with this nation, we have to make a better decision. The one that's in charge now, producing acts. A whoever I just messed up the name. And when we dealing with ICE, I don't want to know why I would call them ACE. They ain't no ACE for sure. Dealing with ICE, we have to understand why would we put more burden on the United States versus dealing with the situation that we have on hand. So now making ice, and we don't know who the people are. We see some that might be okay, but then those that and they face masks and hiding their faces and just doing crazy stuff. And I know they got a criminal mind. It's just no way. To be an average person that is normal, wouldn't just go out and do what they do, and how they do it. So that's that. That's that. My point is, we as this present administration, they making nonsense decision. They making off the wall stuff, and I come to the reality thinking today, as Democratic take the House, the main thing that they're gonna have to deal with, and we're looking at, is finance. I think they should deal with the finance part of this first before they even try to consider Donald President Donald Trump. I say that for a reason, because if if we're looking at the finance, we start looking at impeaching some folks that shouldn't be there. And I know they come to a point they say, "Oh, this can be, you know, tap for tap, slave for slave, or pig for pig." But at some point, you, as a Democrat, you got to make that choice, saying, "Hey, we're gonna do the right thing. We're gonna do this regardless of the outcome." Because if we don't do it, people that's thinking about office, thinking about the crooked ones and the wicked and the bad bad minded people, or wicked minded people come in office, and just to help themselves, and that's it. Don't worry about nobody else. Just helping themselves. But we need to straighten that out as a financial thing, and then we'll have to deal with Iran. Surely we have to. And the most important thing, that if all possible, and dealing with finance, some of this stuff will be straightened out. But we have to focus on that. And I know people probably like say, well, we need to focus on President Donald Trump. But that's not the issue. We know that he gonna do what he do. He gonna did so much damage now. Ain't nothing else that he can do that's super terrible. As long as you got the house, you don't have to pass it. You don't have to do nothing. You can just sit, and I guarantee you, what he'll do, he will go play golf. That's what he do. Make him play golf. Just push him to golf. Just push him to Florida, and then you'll have him out the way, because he have no control. If he ain't got no control, he's not gonna deal with it. So that's a fact. I'm saying finance, because if we start getting, especially the program of ICE should be done away with. Save the money, pay more to our debt. We are adding so much to the debt. It's just so unreal. Then if they have the House and the Senate, which a possibility the Senate is in play, but if not, it's still good, because can't nothing get past that craziness. Can't Cannot get past. But the thing about it, after we doing that and settle the finance, and then we start looking as a party, start oversighting and having hearing on the people that in their role. It ain't gonna help none, because if they think that they're gonna get a pardon, that's how it gonna be. They're gonna keep doing what they're doing. So I wouldn't, waste my time trying to call them in and ask so many questions. But I know it should be public for sure. because if it ain't public, it's gonna be hearsay. So with that, I believe that the Democrats have a different view, but I think that, and I learned something about Democrats. I think that yes, they got a different view now, but I guarantee you, when they take charge and control, half of them will go back to being themselves, meaning that very conservative. You know, we shouldn't do this because it been done this way for that mentality should be thrown out already. I hope so. That's why how we used to do it and doing it shouldn't be in our mind. If it's gonna be done, you make it a law, and then anybody break them law, they get fined and fined some more, and then if not, they go to jail. That's my thought. But dealing with that, and then with the high alert security, I think we should go into that very high alert, because after all that this president done with Iran, we should go at a high alert. We Because if we don't, it's gonna slip up on us like the suicide bombing at that race that time, all along with 9/11, and along with all the other stuff that has been coming our way. So we should be at a high alert. Then the most important thing is how and why they doing what they're doing, not paying people TSA. And I think can be a crucial thing, because we can look at when things is operated smooth like it was, and then all of a sudden this administration is just total chaos, because you, they hire people that assume that they know what they're doing, but they just confused and ever just trying to get a paycheck or trying to be in some type of show. But those things I think should be done. The main three: the finance, deal with Trump, and then hopefully they deal with TSA within the next month or so, few months. Something got to happen, because I don't see why they just won't pay the people. And I just hope that their landlord, their renter, is having patience with them. But then you got to think about it. The landlord rental is Republicans, then they just might be just as hateful as this administration. But I just hope that their landlord rental is working with them, and especially those in the Democratic. If you can't do it, I think statewide in their budget, since whatever state that airport in the TSA in, I think the state should fund a little until the decision. But when TSA is funded, the state get their money back. That's why I think, because mm, right now we are stuck in between two rocks. Republican just ignorant, crazy, and don't want to pass a bill. But they can pass a bill. I don't know why they trying to not. If if President Donald Trump veto it, that's fine. At least you could say, but y'all Republicans just ignorant, just don't pass nothing, and just let it be all on Donald Trump, President Trump, and that's me. J- But it's like, what, I think that it's something more serious than what the Republican is thinking, or what we think the Republican are doing, because you just can't have a layout like that, and you know that you're coming up for an election, and you're gonna need some votes, and just the way you acting, and enough with blaming Democrat and I fought Democrats for that one because they let it fall that way instead of speaking out. You know, just speaking out. If you have to do it daily, speak out. I'm not saying wasting your time, but I'm saying speak out and just let people know what they're doing and invest a little. Excuse me. Invest a little time and space just to get information out. But that's pretty much was everything I wanted to talk about today. That because everything that happened is basically on those three things. It's the finance, which is the budgeting, and then President Donald Trump and ICE. And that's the main thing. But we as Democrat, black, mayor, all of them, black city council, we have to step up. And I'm not being racist, far from being racist, because after being in the army 21 years, it if you were racist, it fades out because you can't be racist in the army because one of the two things gonna happen. You're gonna either gonna get chaptered out, or you're gonna make sure they'll they'll make sure that you don't get no realistic. You go on your merry way. But all in that, but we got to step up a little bit, and I know me right now. I'm gonna start working on going out, passing out some flowers, and trying to get people to vote because, like I say, when I run for government, it was a lot of black people that didn't vote, and it's particular how they voted. And then too is that second thing is transforming their mind because we can look at it all day and say people didn't go out and vote, but you got to think about how many African American that is Republican that vote. So we also got to get them to change their mindset. You know, don't vote party, but vote right, because we all need these funds. We all need these subsidies. We all need everything that the policies. We need some good policies, good laws that will help and benefit everybody, not just one group of people. But I think that we'll be okay. Most people say it'll take us a minute to get back what we need. I feel confidence that if we're dealing with the foreign policy, I think I have confidence enough that our allies understand who is this in the White House. I'm quite sure they understand, and the next person, which is whoever it be, hopefully it be me. I'm about to say that one, but dealing with them, I think it'll be sort of easy dealing with them and walk it, not run it, but walk it in and try to deal with them in a way that you know we're not the last administration, we're not President Trump. That's not how we do things. And always put in their mind, it had to be said because it happened twice. So we have to let them understand that, if so happen someone like President Trump come back in the office after 4 years, just let them understand that it's not always gonna be like that. But you still have to have the confidence and build your military up, build other allies, but try to talk them in a way that they don't choose the enemy of the United States, which is only enemy we got, which is probably three. If we got any more, I don't see we having any more enemies other than those three, which is China, Russia, and North Korea. I don't think we have anymore. If we do, I don't see them and why they offended by us. But those three is on the one, and then North Korea is sort of slacking. I think there's something going on with them. So hopefully we'll figure that out. Hopefully Intel is looking into it because they've been quiet much because the president ain't shooting missiles. Well, I'm gonna say it like that. I haven't seen it on the news. He shot a missile or anything related to that. But we just got to keep our eye on it and just have that confidence that everything will smooth itself out as we continue. But we have to build that ally NATO back up and two and build a NATO back up. The United Kingdom, we surely got to do something about the United Kingdom because that and I said it once in my other video. Why in the world do you need United Kingdom when if they're the one that be oversight over the country when you join the United Kingdom as a way should be oversight of each country that is joined. Now, if you're doing wrong against a country, you should be held accountable for it. As Russia, United Kingdom can have all these nations, and I don't see how that they can let stuff go on other than what is good for for the world. And say it like that. But I just encourage each and every one that hopefully this won't last too long. I know many that are not having it hard yet, but if we keep going, I know a lot of people is going to be in a critical state, and but I hope that it's changed. I know prices getting ready to go up. Actually, they have. They was like simmering down, but this president only care for themselves when they got money, and that's another thing that we have to take care of. We got a lot to do, but we're not going. Me, I'm not going to waste my time trying to search after them and seek after them. Yes, it will be done, but it's gonna be in the fashion that first, my number one focus is be the citizen, and if every department function like it should, my job is not to have chase out the information. It should be brought to me, and we'll go from there. But my job is to focus on the citizen. If that is going, some of the stuff that happened, it can gradually overcome some of the lack of good policy or lack of good laws. So that's my main focus to get the citizens stable, and then we can go into other things and try to correct as much as we can the first year of, of me in office, and then we'll go from there. I'm not going too much focus on spending money and here and there. We can do a lot of stuff without spending money, and then after that, we can build that case, and then we can go forward. However, what is going on in every situation. But my main focus is the citizen. Like I said, my nine thing that I'm gonna focus on is that we're gonna gradually do the other stuff. We can walk, chew gun, and run. However you look at it, how they say it, we can do all of that. But my main focus is the citizen. Replenish the citizen back, get them comfortable to a place that they can live and not having so much drama and not having so much light. So that's my main focus. I'm not hitting ground chasing after the lawless people. That gonna happen. It gonna take place, but it just gonna be done at a slow pace. When we do it at a slow pace, we don't miss the steps that we should take. We just gonna gradually get this, and then we're gonna go from there. But I was just waiting and trying to wait for that moment so we can get into things right now. Before I close and get off here, I'm trying to build up my team. Gradually build up my team. I'm trying to get right now. Trying to get in touch with certain people that that I want in my administration, and hopefully they'll say yes. And if not, I can accept that because I know the challenge and me being unknown. But running for we if they use that excuse, I'm gonna be simple. I'm gonna be simple minded. Oh, Donald Trump running for office unknown. Reverend Jason Jackson unknown. Obama unknown. Some of the people that run was unknown till they got to the to the spotlight. So me, I'm glad to get in now, try to get some spot because you only need a good gustle of wind to make a sail go. So we just need that big gust of wind and the sailing to go. So that's when you if and when you see this video, just keep me in mind as a candidate in 2028. So I got 2 years now starting, and I'm working towards after the midterm. I'm trying not to interfere with nothing going on now with the midterm. Just trying to get some votes out, and especially family, trying to get every family member that doesn't, and I know doesn't vote, get out the vote this time. Just try to get the right information, especially with the Supreme Court. If they change and things look different, to having your ID, they need something else. But hopefully, it doesn't pass. That we're able to keep using ID, driver license or whatever, some type of ID. But I'm gonna get on, get off here. I probably do another video this week, this time, because the Simple Fight is coming up to Alabama primary. I think it's May the 18th, 18, 19. So I'll probably be getting out, probably have some stuff online instead of being on Monday. I'll probably be out talking to people, asking them if they vote, who they vote for, and then that mostly probably be trying to get one of the candidate I solicitor think it will be good for this state. But we know that we got other candidate, but we just hopefully that we get a change because Alabama need a great change. But that's all for me. Just remember my slogan: time for change. And as I always say, ALK out. And I will see you sometime this week with making a video of a good morning video. All right. See you next time.